So last week we had some really interesting callers, and 2 of them called back this week, which is very exciting. So we're going to take those callers first. First, we're going to talk with Isaiah in Korea. Last week he talked about confronting a pastor who he felt was endangering some of the kids at the church, and he's calling back because it sounds like he just realized he's been in a cult.
Yeah, I'm
Isaiah,
sorry to call
welcome
you guys
to the show again.
I hate those people who call in every week, but
well, it's usually like if somebody wants to make the show like, oh, I'm going to have a segment on SkepGen now. That's usually a pain, but
yeah,
you've got an update,
I
what's going
genuinely
on?
do, because actually I accidentally set my alarm clock. 'Cause I usually have to stay up really late in order to talk to you guys, but I just went off, so I'm like, well, I might as well call them. So anyway, it was on accident, but so I've always thought anybody who joined a cult was an absolute idiot, man. This is irony coming back to bite me, because last week I called in about this guy who I confronted. Well, that whole thing sent off a series of events that after oh God, it's getting me scary just to think about it right now, because it sent off a series of events, and these people actually, I had my daughter and wife with me, and we were staying at a room that they were providing us, because I actually don't live in Seoul. I'm a missionary at the bottom, and I came up, and this is one of the reasons why I haven't been so able to catch on quicker. And I just put everything together, because these people actually, after they found out the kind of things I was doing, tried to change the locks and like lock me in. I know. I can't even tell you. I literally was afraid of my daughters. It's like if those people would have showed up with axes and killed us, it would have. I wouldn't have had any. I had to get in there, get my stuff, and get out, man. And one of the guys threatened me like over the phone. It was so scary. I mean, I don't even know what to tell you as far as.
Did you contact the authorities?
Yeah, we got out of there ASAP. It's just when I look back, it was a series of events that have been going down for the last year and a half. One thing here and one thing here. It was never any one thing at any one time. But when I looked back in retrospect of the kind of things that they were doing, and the fact is that I wasn't around them every single week, because I live, as I said, at the bottom of South Korea. Now, so I don't really even have a question. I'm just wondering, like, I can't believe that I could gotten roped in for that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm just a little bit freaked out right now. If you could give me anything, like how do you freaking spot it? I feel really idiotic right now, honestly. Eric?
No, don't, because here's the thing. First of all, I'm glad you're safe. You did the right thing getting out of there and getting your family to a safe place. So very, very good on you there. Don't feel stupid. Don't feel like an idiot. People think that about cult members, but it really is not the case. You can, of course, be looped in if you're maybe a child or maybe somebody who doesn't have a lot of critical thinking skills, but they do prey on people who are fairly, educated. There are people of all walks of life in cults. Yeah.
In fact, there are plenty of times that I've kind of in the history of cults that you've seen that there are university professors, very respectable, very brilliant people that get brought in, and I think one of the important things here is, Christian, you're still a believer.
This is Isaiah.
Or I'm sorry, Isaiah. You're still a Christian,
absolutely.
Right? I apologize.
Christian, you're still an Isaiah, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. So,
I'm sorry.
So.
Please.
Go ahead. Sorry. No. Okay. The reason I bring it up is because I feel like there are. Oh, hold on just a second. Anyway, I feel like there's something really, really important to point out here. That is, number one, don't feel bad because people get brought in by this. But another is that, how do we prevent this moving forward? And I think that even if you are a believer, I think practicing skepticism can help insulate you from getting taken advantage of in the future. Because if these people aren't who you thought they were, it sounds like they were getting a lot of benefit from you. Mm-hmm. And if that labor of yours came and they were not providing, you know, a reasonable return to you for that, that's taking advantage of you, dude.
Oh,
they took advantage of you, it sounds like.
I just donated $25 for your computer. But the thing is because Eric, when you came on my channel, which hope to talk to V soon, but when you came on my channel, I told you that I believe that a healthy dose of skepticism inside of Christianity is a really good thing, because I'm a Christian and I saw so many mm-hmm. people falling for, in fact, I would even call it like a cult, the cult of Trumpism and QAnon. Someone, in fact, who was like, my mom mm-hmm. passed away on my birthday about 13 years ago. And so a woman who had become like my adopted mother, I saw her completely change who she was after Donald Trump got elected. I mean, to the point where it's like, mm-hmm. I saw her debating her own sons and like online and stuff, to the point of like, you know what I mean? Like wanting to disown them. Like I couldn't believe it, because she was never even anything close to like that. And it was just one thing at a time after another, to where she just was kind of like totally off the, I can't even talk to her anymore. You know, I cannot have a conversation with her anymore. And she's been like my mom. So.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel you. I know so many people who are in the same exact situation with their parents. One of the ways that you are noticing when your adoptive mother came into this maybe cult-ish mentality, mm-hmm. and the way you're looking at it now from the outside, having possibly been in one for the last while, a good way to. Yeah, you want to make sure that you're not falling prey to love bombing. So there's something that cults tend to do is don't pay attention to how it's making you feel as much as pay attention to how other people are being treated. And it sounds like that kind of was something you were doing already, looking at the kids in this organization and worrying about them and their safety. Because a lot of the time, if they want to rope you in, they'll be really nice and they'll make you feel really good. But you know, keep an eye on the people who have been there for a while. How are they being treated? Are there things that are off? Are there red flags? So definitely making sure you have enough empathy for other people that you're reaching out and being like, hey, are you okay? I'm seeing some things that are concerning. Let me pursue that. Mm-hmm.
And just, I don't know, I think I brought this up last week, possibly not on this call, but on another. Have you checked out any of the channels that I brought up that kind of do stuff around cults? Like Telltale does a lot of really good work about cults. Genetically Modified Skeptic, Drew, does really, really good stuff. In fact, there's a place that crosses over, and the Antibot does stuff that's kind of similar. There are similar tactics that get used in the MLM kind of sphere, but like checking those out, there is a scale, and there are tests that you could use that can help identify it. Yeah. I don't feel like I'm personally qualified, but I do think that those are some resources. Well,
absolutely. We're so glad you're okay, Isaiah.
Yeah.
I'm literally, it's going to take me months to process this, because as I've said, and actually speaking of empathy, my channel's name is Empathy Respect. Sorry, I'm not trying to plug it, but just that's a really big part of why I talk to atheists in a very empathetically and without trying to convert or debate. But I'm so glad that I actually had this experience, because this gives me so much empathy to deal with people who I thought were just, like even my own adopted mom, you know what I mean? The way that she's got roped into that mentality where I can't even have a conversation with her. I realize now how people, it's like the whole proverbial frog getting boiled. I could have seen if I was, because I only came up once a month to deal with them. You know what I mean? I was just getting ready to do this camp, and I was trying to address these issues before we did the next camp, which is why I had my family down, you know? because they were going to house us. They house us occasionally.
Right.
And so, it just, a series of events went off. But I want to get off right now because I don't want to hog up the mic. But I did make that super chat because I think it's so healthy what you guys do. And I want to be a supporter of you guys because I've been listening for around like 6 months before I decided to call in.
Well,
I was really nervous about calling in because like I'm just not a confrontational person. Well, we kind of discussed that last week about not really like wanting to be confrontational about debates.
Yeah.
And stuff, you know. And so
Right.
that's just not my style.
But
thank you guys for what you do. Just thank you guys.
Yeah. Well,
Well, we appreciate you calling in, and we're glad that you got your family out of there, and best of luck. I know that this is not something that's going to be going away overnight, but this was a good experience
Right.
if you can draw something from it
Okay,
and
thank
protect
you.
yourself in the future.
definitely take care. And if there's a place, or if there's if calling the authorities, calling the police is called for, you should. Like it isn't always, but if that is,
I'm sorry. I should have
please
told
do,
you this. I
if
should
you
have
haven't
updated
already.
you on that.
Yeah.
All right.
I let them know that I was going to call them, and then they all just stopped communicating. I was going to call the police on them because they dismissed everything I said, and so I was just like, okay, and I was just at a
Then they
hotel,
stopped.
like literally, and I realized at 4 a.m. that I had the ability to do it, and I hadn't done it the day before that I told you I was going to do it. So I left my hotel at like 4 a.m. and just walked down there, and I said, I got to do the right thing right here and right now. And I called it, and I reported it in, and I talked to them, and then none of them have responded or anything.
Good.
They all just went totally dead. So, just wanted to give you an update on that. Yeah.
Well,
Okay. Thank you.
good.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, we're glad you called people, and take care, you guys.
Bye.
Bye. Wow. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. That Isaiah had a week too.
Seriously, oh my goodness.
I feel like my week suddenly got a lot less
Just imagine
hectic.
grabbing your family and needing to flee. Like,
Well, I mean, I've done that too.
true. Well, then Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
fair.
that's not something you come back from right away, but I'm glad that they're all safe now.
Yeah.